Portia, we're very excited to be able to offer regulatory and compliance advisory consulting and services to our clients in the US. So tell us a bit more about what we do and who we do it for and what value you bring to those clients.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very excited to be able to bring this offering to the US as well. Our client base currently, we have global clients. We have clients in Singapore, Hong Kong, the UK, and obviously the US. Generally speaking, anyone that is required to have any type of notice or registration with the SEC is a client we can help them with, whether you're a wealth advisor, a fund manager, an internet advisor. If you're trading crypto, if you're trading privates, if you're trading publicly traded securities, we basically assist all of our clients with SEC regulatory requirements, including getting them registered with the SEC. We have exempt reporting advisors, which obviously have less SEC requirements, but still have to complete certain filings and have to ensure their fiduciary responsibilities to their clients. We assist with the registration process, building out the compliance program, all of the testing, the training of employees. We also help with SEC exams. We're actually currently helping with multiple SEC exams of global firms. We do mock exams in preparation of SEC exams, which are very helpful in preparing those, especially those who have never been through a registration and an SEC exam. It's very helpful. We will do interview prep. We'll do document requests. We'll generally mimic what an SEC exam looks like. Do Q&As. We'll do your annual reviews. So we'll evaluate your entire compliance program, which is discoverable by the SEC. So we're very cognizant of how we present our findings. We have bespoke projects that we do for clients as well. So, our bread and butter is obviously helping you with your ongoing regulatory and compliance needs. That way we become familiar and stay familiar with your firm. We grow with you. We're currently moving a couple of our clients from exempt reporting advisor to full registration. So we kind of like to grow up with our clients and help them through the process. And we get to know you. We get to know your strategies, your pain points, what CCOs are worrying about, the culture of your firm. And we tailor our your compliance program to your risks, your needs, and obviously what the new regulations look like on an ongoing basis.
And this theme of growing with clients is really something we're focused on as a Korean globally, right? Because we have so many examples where we start with helping clients set up or get registered to helping set up policy procedures, then becoming a trusted advisor on an ongoing basis. So this offering is really not just for emerging or first-time managers, but you get a lot of work with mid-market and lower mid-market managers too.
Yes, absolutely. And obviously, when we register you, we help you set up your policies and procedures. But oftentimes, as firms grow and have multiple funds and multiple strategies, they're seeking advice that's more tailored to their risks. And so we don't have a compliance program that's cookie cutter. We really tailor our compliance program to our clients' needs, their strategies, the risks. And so we will get clients that come from some of these larger firms where they're getting the off-the-shelf compliance programs, manuals, the testing memos. I've worked at a lot of firms like that, and they do work for some managers, some clients, but our niche spot is going to be to really tailor our offering, our services to clients that really want to have a tailored program that applies to them, that makes sense for them, that isn't overly burdensome, and yet still meets all of the requirements to get through SEC exams and through due diligence with investors.
And this must be very valuable to CFOs and CCOs and GCs, particularly in the US, where we find at a more of an emerging manager level, the CFO is very commonly also the CCO, right?
Absolutely.
And they wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
So they really look to trusted advisors like yourself to find a way of navigating that complexity.
Absolutely. I tell a lot of our CFO, CCOs that we're putting you through compliance training. So we do help our CCOs to become independent in terms of being able to understand the requirements and the risk perspectives. And we really do a lot of training with CCOs. So while we are always going to be there to support them, we want them to be able to get through an SEC exam, to really feel comfortable with what they're talking about and how they're running their program, to also empower them within the organization to be able to make decisions that are not always in line with what everyone wants, but more in line with what is required.
Under the current administration, there is a big push for deregulation as a way of stimulating growth. That must have implications on how the SEC is organizing itself and how it's looking to enact its policies. What are managers thinking? What are clients doing? What's the current mood, and what would you recommend?
So it's very interesting. There is going to be some change. So at this point, they're actually looking to centralize the SEC region. So rather than having offices across the country, they're going to regionalize, which is going to help with a consistent approach to exams. It's up until now, we've always said, oh, where's your exam out of DC? Is it out of California? Is that a New York office? And that made a difference in the approach. And I think that's what is currently happening, where they're going to centralize the regions and have a more consistent approach to exams. So we're actually looking forward to that, because once we get a feel for how they're going to handle exams, it's going to be a global strategy for examinations, and it'll be a little bit more helpful for us in being able to advise our clients on how to prepare. Right now, while there is some deregulation discussions, we don't want our clients to take their foot off the pedal, because nothing has actually been enacted in terms of deregulation. So your compliance program, your policies and procedures, you still have to abide by them. Compliance doesn't run on possibilities, it runs on actualities. And so we want people to continue to do what they're required to do. And part of our job is to stay on top of all of these new rules and regulations to ensure that we're moving along with whatever moving target they may seem to be right now.
That's right. It's really interesting because I'm speaking to a few clients and we've done a few surveys on this, as we do survey private asset managers globally. And one of the questions that we had was in terms of what do they expect their compliance spend and complexity to be in the coming years. And most managers expect it to at least stay the same.
Yes. And I can see a scenario where we're going to have less enforcement action. I think that the goal of the new SEC is um, to rule versus by enforcement, which has been the theme up until now. And so SEC exams are going to be more succinct. I believe we're going to probably maintain that off-site exam. There was some talk of return to office and return to in-person exam. And in some situations that is happening. I think we're going to see more of that off-site exam just because of government cuts and whatnot. I think the SEC still stays the course in terms of ensuring that they're touching managers. There is also discussion about raising the limits for registration, the AUM limits, because the SEC has realized that they really want to focus on those large managers with really a substantial amount of assets under management. And so right now that threshold is 150 for registration. They're looking to move that needle. We're anticipating that if they do, it might double. So firms that are $200 million and registered may end up deregistering if they do change these numbers. But right now, I think the key is to ensure that we're prepared for anything. And that's what we do. We stay on top of these things. We attend, the SEC summits and follow all the new rules and regulations. And they really are a moving target. But I think the focus needs to be on being prepared, not overreacting to the markets, because it is kind of day to day. All of your policies and procedures need to be followed. The SEC is looking at them still. They're going to be more succinct about their exams. They're probably not going to last as long as they used to. But the key points, fees and expenses, protecting investors, those themes are going to stay. They're not going anywhere.
And at the end of the day, robust compliance is a competitive proposition as well for your investors to ensure that you as a manager is on top of it.
Absolutely. Due diligence is so there's, the regulatory requirement, and then there's that idea of, getting through investor due diligence, attracting the big deep pockets. I mean, they want regulation. Clients want to know that their money is protected, that they're in good hands. And so keeping a robust compliance program is really going to help you through that due diligence process, which is something else that we do help our clients.
Particularly in an increasingly competitive capital raising environment, right?
Absolutely.
Managers, this becomes an advantage.
Yes.
It's interesting when you mention about the raising of threshold for registration, because that's something we're probably going to see in other regulatory jurisdictions as well. So in the UK, the FCA is also conducting a consultation along similar lines. But it's at the end of the day, whilst the regulatory regime may slightly change, to your point, compliance is an ongoing concern for everyone, including the investors, to keep the assets safe.
Absolutely. This is going to be interesting times.